Hello everyone. So I thought I'd just let you know about a little situation that happened to me yesterday and how I cope with that situation. So I'd been writing some lists of different things that I'd had to think about, and I'd left it in the room, and when I came back a bit later on, I found this. My daughter had found it and drawn all over it. So as you can imagine, not cool. So I sort of wonder how many mothers out there or parents would immediately get mad and go, "Oh, you naughty child, you've drawn all over mummy's important list," and "Oh, goodness me," and rah, rah, rah. Well, I'd like to say that I didn't. Instead, my first thought was to be thankful. And the first reason that I'm thankful is that even though she's dribbled on all my words and has made it really hard to actually read what I've written, she has chosen to write on this pad of paper instead of, say, the wall or a book or something else. She has actually been taught not to draw on walls or books or other thing other than paper. So I'm thankful that she's obviously taken that to heart and gone, "I'm a good girl, I'm drawing on paper." The second reason that I'm thankful is, in fact, normally when she finds a pad of paper, not only will she scribble on the first page, but she will then proceed to not scribble, draw. All her drawings are works of arts, of course, is she normally draws on every single page. But I can actually find some blank pieces of paper. So that is also quite impressive and unusual for her. And the third reason that I'm thankful is that I can actually still read it underneath all her extra work, and I can always just rewrite out my lists. So that to me is quite acceptable an outcome. If I were to say something to my daughter, instead of reacting, and in particular angrily at her, I would have to choose to respond instead of react. And I would respond by just talking to her and saying, "Oh, I see you've done some drawings, aren't they beautiful? Do you see what you've actually drawn on? Yes, you've drawn on paper. Good girl. However, look, it's Mummy's lists, isn't it, darling? Mummy's struggling to read these lists now, so it's a little bit of a nuisance, darling. Maybe next time you could draw on the blank pieces of paper and not on Mummy's list. Would that be a good idea?" If I needed to be strong about it, I could actually say, "It's actually really naughty to draw on Mummy's lists. Next time, maybe you could ask Mummy before you draw on her paper, because this is naughty and upsets Mummy a lot, and it's not very helpful." See, kids actually really want to be helpful and not be considered unhelpful, and anytime I tell her she's helpful, she gets this big smile on her face. "That's so helpful, sweetie, thank you." So when I say, "Oh, this is not very helpful for Mummy because she can't read her lists anymore," then she gets the message without me actually getting angry. So yes, and I come away from this also from being thankful for 3 different things about the situation, and choosing to respond instead of react if that's how I am. I can't do it now because it's been a day. However, if we go shopping and I look at these lists and she wants to help by holding the shopping list, I can mention it then because she'll know what I'm talking about. But I won't bring it out of the blue and say, "Oh, look, yesterday you did some drawing and you drew on Mummy's." It's too late. The message is a bit lost. But lastly, I take a lesson away from this. See, I had left my pen and my paper in easy access for her. So this is actually my fault that she's drawn all over my pictures. She's just being a child, and she's just doing what children do, and she loves to draw. So really, this was a lesson for me, to not leave a pen and paper lying around somewhere in easy access of my child. So there's no need for me to get angry at her for something that was my own fault. And that's something that I try and be aware of all the time, and look at first the situation and say, is she just being a child? And am I just reacting to her being a child when it's not really her fault and it's my situation that I need to deal with? And then I look at the other things of how else I can deal with it. So that's just something that I've done and I've always done, and that's why I find that I don't tend to get angry with her very often. And I think that's helping with her as well. So thanks for watching. Till later. Bye.